I have traveled through the central Japan region. They have grown forests around those buildings, and the whole atmosphere is that of a garden village, that in spite of their craze for technology and profit, they have been able to appreciate the blessings of nature. Their experience of industrial pollution of rivers, Minamoto and all that, that was the beginning of the green movement in the world. I had been to Scotland, some of the beautiful beaches in France. I stayed in the snowing Kashmir Valley, placid waters of Lake Dal, the painted caves of Ajanta. There is the island of Elephanta. I prefer these places to the wealthy comfort of the tourist resorts in Europe and America. I have not enjoyed anything more than deserted beach below the lonely promontory of Mount Ezhimala near Kannur in the Kerala state of India. It is jutting out into the sea, the vast sandy shore, the rocky heights with the ruins of a dilapidated Portuguese fort, the Etikulam village hiding behind a small inland sea, and also a small 10th century shore temple. We got drunk by the moonlit midnight beauty of that place. I have always been in love with Ponnanipura. I spent my high school days in Ponnani. There was no bridge. We had to depend on the country boat service. The river swelled like anything during the rainy season with a width of about 1 mile. We used to spend happy evenings on the small patches of sand which became visible during the summer season. The great poet Edasheri, who was there with us, when the Malambara Dam came up, the flow was slowing down. The river became slim, and it was wasting away. But even then, current was still strong enough to dominate our dreams and imagination. Today, it is different. This divine maid, or the Ganga of Malnad, is no more there. Greedy developers digging for sand night and day. Mahamaham festival, which was the Kumbh Mela of Kerala, used to be held in summer on the sandy open grounds of this river. Every 12 years, the riverbed is a dry desert with gaping mouth, spelling disaster and death for Kerala. Always been in love with the typical Malabar village. Green paddy fields with narrow winding footpaths, canals and rivers with slow moving country boats. I loved her like my grandmother. Whenever I went out of Kerala, I have always been longing to come back to these villages of Malabar. Well, vague ideas were there every now and then about threat to the environment and the need for protection. But this crystallized in my mind through my association with two scientist friends who were colleagues, Dr. Vijay Madhavan and Dr. K.G. Adiodi. They were the founders of the original Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad. Well, my short 1 year stay in England during 1974-75 and much later my 1 year stay in Tokyo in Japan, that was in 1994-95. Now, during these periods, my experiences familiarized me with nature movements and Gandhian ideas as a possible solution to the dangers of industrial consumerism. They taught me the virtues of controlling the senses and cultivating the middle path of Gautama Buddha. I have been progressively getting closer to vegetarianism and a simple lifestyle, hating urban luxury and starting to love nature in her pristine purity. I am fascinated more and more by the concept of a universal religion, not of equality and liberty as it is usually promoted, but of inequality and self-control, developed through free education, service and love. Till the end of the Second World War, that was terminated by the American atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Till that time, the civilized world believed in a theory of progress. Accordingly, all progress in history, from the earliest times to this modern period, was based on what they called the conquest of nature. This was the secular version of the Christian religious idea of man's revolt against God in the Garden of Eden. The medieval Christians thought that this disobedience to God was the beginning of all misery. On the other hand, modern scientists, modernists, guided by the natural scientists of the later period, of the age of enlightenment, believed that this departure from the path of God or nature was the beginning of progress. We have to start the ideological journey of the new epoch in human history by humbly recognizing the lesson that progress does not lie in the conquest of nature. The most important environmental issue in the world today is the fast depletion of non-renewable resources of nature. Now this is happening very quickly, and as a result you find that we are to a great disaster. This is due to the uncontrolled greed and stupidity of mankind, and the solution, if any, I emphasize that, lies in a vigorous attempt to control this greed by all possible means. In my city of Calicut, the greatest environmental issue at present is the destruction of rivers and hills through the removal of sand. A greater vigilance on the part of the public may be suggested. Train young students so that they are in the campaign, and they can also try to persuade parents and elders in their own way. Well, it is again the riverbed of Ponnanipura. Gaping holes found everywhere in the riverbed, like pockmarks on a beautiful face. You find several container lorries and laborers at work in the open daylight, digging and digging into the bowels of the earth. The earth is not visibly bleeding, but I can understand that the earth is really crying out. We have to recognize the urgent need to arrest the mad consumerism prevailing in India. Based on the wrong premise, more and more money by hook or crook will bring more happiness to oneself and one's family. This error, in the view of people, has to be exposed through education and propaganda. Only those who can be role models in this particular field must be elected for office in government and entrusted with legislative and executive power. Children are to be trained in the Buddhist and Gandhian way of life and made to taste the pleasures of moderation. India is best equipped by her tradition, philosophy and history to lead the world in this crisis of the modern age.